What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Out of the Darkness. It's me. It's Q. Just wanted to go ahead and continue our reading from the Linwood interview, or the interview that was conducted on behalf of Linwood from the whistleblower. So, this is an actual whistleblower, guys. This is a man who is putting his very life on the line in order to bring this information. So, even if you are just now getting into this for the first time, I've set this thing up in such a way that each episode is actually freestanding. So even if you're just now getting into it, you haven't missed anything per se. I would encourage you at your leisure to go back and watch some of the more original, or some of the original episodes, just to get a full picture. But each one of these episodes is going to stand on its own. I'm starting and finishing in places that will make it more natural flowing. I want to get into this. We're talking specifically about the whistleblower. The whistleblower spent a great deal of amount of time in jail because of a fake drug charge. He was set up by the DEA in order to take a fall because they felt that he was becoming a threat with the information that he had. So we're going to get into this. I want to first say, for those of you guys that are just now coming in, I am not in any way indicting anyone. I am not pronouncing judgment on anyone. I do believe that everyone should have their day in court. But I believe that if they are guilty of the things that he is saying, because these are some pretty heavy accusations and allegations, then these people should face the fullness of the penalty of the law. So justice should be served. So let's get into it. So the interviewer is speaking to the interviewee. He is currently in jail, talking about his time in jail. And we're going to talk about how he got out of jail finally. So, the interviewer. So, how did you end up getting released from this custody? What was the exit process, I guess, like? The interviewee. From the initial one? Interviewer. Yeah. Interviewee. Well, they sentenced me. They figured that there was just, I couldn't take that much abuse. The new doctor had come in. He was a part-timer. He'd rotated in. He was like, no. So he wrote in and actually released me from jail at that point. They hadn't charged me, convicted me. They said I had a plea. I had pled guilty. I didn't. The attorney that they had working for them, who was actually a customer of Rosati multiple times, that he had arrested and actually supplied drugs to, did cocaine in front of me. And at the jailhouse, he signed the plea agreement in my name. He said I was too incapacitated. He spelled white wrong because he was so high. That's not an easy one to misspell, but Thomas Moronic was his name. But he actually spelled my name wrong. He said I was incapacitated and couldn't do it, so he signed for me, which would be illegal. The day after I found out what he had done, I wrote to the judge just to get it on the record, saying, you don't know what these people are doing. I'm working with them. There's all the stuff. I have a copy of that. They told me to leave a space for the court stamp so it'd be accepted, and I put it on the record. I said I did not sign it. I don't want to plea. I want my day in court. Because part of the plea was you have 10 days to nullify it and go to trial, which is a standard thing. And then I put in it, put it in, and they're like, oh no, it was just a suggestion. You don't get that. So I fought. I fought that case pro se, by myself, with being forced to work for these idiots. Um, they gave me a year and a day for that sentence. I was there for several months beyond that. Not beyond that, but I mean, for a year and a day. I did 7.5 months because at that point I was in such bad condition they released me medically to a home detention situation and still forced me to work for these people and maintain contacts with the terrorist groups, things like that, which I had to feed them, but they controlled it much more after that. But I fought that case pro se for years, 4 years. And finally, he, meaning Judge Carr, finally semi retired and I got assigned to another judge. I went to court and I won. She issued because the evidence is plain. I have everyone backing me up. The post office, FedEx, the local police, the doctor, everybody backs me up. And it's plainly obvious, so she actually reversed it entirely in my favor. Interviewer: what year was that? Interviewee: August 2014. Interviewer: okay. Interviewee: she issued a court order reversing the original one entirely in my favor, erased everything, and with prejudice, so they couldn't bring it back up. Well, Rod got to her, and she reversed her court order. I have it. I have the original file. I have the original court order. I have all that. And she reversed it about 2 months later and put it back on and reinstated everything. That's just how they keep you under their thumb. Interviewer: are you aware of what he had on her to get her to do that? Interviewee: no. Interviewer: so after that. Interviewee: I think it was just his position. Interviewer: after that? After that escape, the first time, has there been any other? Interviewee interposing: 2015. Interviewer: yep. Can you explain that one? Interviewee: again, I was the entire time forced to work with him, and meaning Rod Rosenstein. As I gradually got healthier or recovered. Interviewer: when you say him, that's Rosenstein or interviewee? Rod Rosenstein. Interviewer: now, was Rosati and the others around for this time too? Interviewee: yeah, the whole time. This was all the way up until 2016 when they started scattering, when Rod basically shut down the Dirty Trick Squad in 2016 because of the election. He didn't want anything to compromise it, didn't want it to come out and shut it down, and allowed Lisa Monaco to introduce the new CISSP section to the public. And she actually found a whole lot more legal stuff and reported it. But when they were planning to take out the judges, when they were working with these groups, and I was working in this group reporting back everything they were doing, and I got hundreds of conversations with these people. I recorded all of them, giving them to the FBI, but keeping a copy and planting false flags and talking about the Boston Marathon bombing. Same group. So I have all of those. I tried to end run because it got to the point where President Trump was coming on strong. It looked like he could actually take it, and they weren't going to wait. So I exposed it. Like I said, I'd end run them. I went around them. I went to the Department of Homeland Security with a ton of paperwork and a couple hundred hours of audio and video, gave it to them, and I don't know, overwhelmed. They got mad. I don't know what happened to them, but they went to the DOJ and the FBI, and it came right back to me because they certainly knew who I was. And like I said, I'm sitting in prison again for more BS charges. Going off the first one, they said drug charges, although there was no drugs there. In the first one, they just said there were drugs. There were no boxes. They were imaginary. But going off the first one, it was like, well, he's a previous offender, drugs. They said they got a surveillance warrant. They said that they had observed me in a high drug trafficking area. Later on, under oath, they had to admit that it was a Safeway. They had a pharmacy. That's how they claimed it to get the surveillance. So keep it going. So they said we didn't see him doing anything or engaging in any illegal activity, but he's in that known area, Safeway. We went grocery shopping, but it was enough. And actually had to drop that charge. They actually had to drop that charge later because there was just nothing there. There was no anything. There were no drugs or nothing. The only thing I had was my legal medication that I needed to try and recover from what they had done. Quite a bit of that. All right, so I'm going to end there. That's the natural spot. Guys, once again, I'm giving you this information. I'm including the transcript, the entire transcript, in the description. You guys can read it for yourself. I'm going to continue working through this. Forgive my reading, guys. Again, this is a interview. It is a transcript. It doesn't flow. It's not a story. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys want me to continue doing this, I've taken a little bit of time off from reading it, but I've had a few of you guys ask me to get back into it. If you guys are interested in continue to do this, let me know, and I will continue. If not, you guys can read it for yourself, and we can stop. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.